Hello, and welcome to my quarantine cave. My name is Liford, and I'm the writer and director of the movie Slash. Slash is a coming-of-age movie geared for kids who don't normally get their own coming-of-age films, in the sense that most films of the genre center on kids who are, maybe they're outcasts, maybe they're outsiders, but they're a little bit more archetypical in the sense that they know what they want in this world and they generally line up with the mainstream audiences. Even in the new kind of subset of coming of age films centered on queer characters who are maybe like, struggling coming out, maybe they're trying to find love, they still generally know what they want. What sets this film aside and apart from the others is that it's about kids who don't know where they fit in the universe, who don't know who they love, who are questioning, who might be a little afraid, might be a little scared. And it's our message to these kids that it's okay not to know. It's okay to be questioning. It's okay to take your time and explore and figure yourself out. It's important to us that kids like this have this opportunity to see something, see themselves represented. Slash is largely an Austin affair in that it was about 90% of the film was shot here. It was with a predominantly Austin cast and crew. I like to think of it as a love letter to the city in which I live. You may be asking yourself, why is it called Slash if it's not a horror film? Well, slash fiction is a subset of fan fiction. And fan fiction, for the uninitiated, is any derivative work of art, typically prose, that's based upon some property of mass media, pop culture, stuff like Star Trek or Harry Potter, Star Wars. And writers, they don't do it for money and they don't do it for fame. They do it for the love of the property and just for the love of writing. And, sometimes they want to see where would the story go after the canonical story ends. But what's most interesting to me are when writers do the self-insert, where they, again, these properties being kind of pop culture typically are not very representative of the broad spectrum of life. And because of that, a lot of people don't see themselves, they feel left out of the property. And a lot of times they're trying to find a way to make it speak to them a little bit more closely, to insert themselves into the story, or at least to change the perspective. Slash fiction specifically is about romantic relationships, about pairings of characters that are typically non-canonical, and a lot of times it's pretty erotic. You may be wondering what this has to do with this film, because it's a coming-of-age film. Well, the story centers on this kid, Neil, who's played by the great Michael Johnson. Neil is 15. He's sexually confused. He is questioning. He doesn't know his place in the universe. And he is also a bit of a loner, a bit of an outsider. And because of that, he doesn't have really anyone he can talk to about his feelings. So he turns to the internet. And he ends up going down this pretty deep rabbit hole, which leads to the slash fiction community. And, as most slash writers are well above the age of 15, you can see how this might lead to some questionable or a little bit, uncomfortable situations. But thankfully, he's not alone in his journey. He has a newly minted friend in the form of Julia, played by the amazing Hannah Marks. And Julia is 16 years old, but even at 16, she's a bit of a luminary within the slash community. She's kind of the wise old sage, so to speak. And she, is able to be Neil's Obi-Wan Kenobi and kind of lead him down the path so he emerges safely at the other side. So the film is predominantly about their relationship, their burgeoning friendship, and where it leads, and how slash fiction in that community shapes that. So anyway, I really hope you guys enjoy the film. I want to give a huge thanks to the Austin Film Society for allowing us this opportunity to present it to you. And as far as the film goes, I'm very present on the internet. If you like the film, if you hate the film, if you want to talk about the film, I always love to hear from people. So hit me up, find me on the internet, and enjoy the movie. And thank you very much.